Hey Tim, this is blog number 14. I'm recording from my therapist's couch, which is apparently funny to Paul. But this is where I lay when I need to release a few things that are bothering me. And Laszlo actually acts as my psychiatrist. So I already did backwards design the other day. I got ahead of myself. I lost track of the days. These two clowns are still laughing over here next to me while I'm trying to shoot my video. But I want to talk about something entirely different that is lacking, I guess, in the program, I think, this year. And I know we've kind of touched a bit on inclusion and diversity and all those kind of things. But our school just recently released some new guidelines on LGBTQ2A+. I'm awful with the acronym. But one of my biggest concerns about working in a Catholic board was it being more about social agendas than it is education. And I gotta say that there is a nice balance there. My first school, I've explained this to Darren in the past, that my first school did engage in it. They tried to avoid it as much as possible, or at least put a cork on that thing. And I felt there was a lot of teachers at my previous school that were very anti that whole agenda or that whole sector of people. And it didn't seem like a great environment, as much as I loved the school. But yeah, that was my concern. My concern was we'd be putting way more emphasis on that than actual education. And as a tech teacher, I just want to teach everyone, and I don't care who they are, what walk of life they are. I just want to teach and share my knowledge and watch people grow. The other thing I was really concerned about, what was the other thing I was concerned about? Oh, I'm going to leave all this in here too. I'm not even going to edit it. The other thing that I was really concerned about.
That one part up there.
No,
Not even.
no editing.
Sense.
The other thing that I was really concerned about was, I've lost my train of thought again. And now I'm going to have to edit it. The other thing that I was really concerned about was a lot of the attitudes, whether it was a facade or not. I've marched in several pride parades in London. I've built floats in the past. I had some good friends that identified as homosexual, so I thought it was important to support my friends, and that's why I participated. And I brought my son along, so I thought it was really important that my son, I pass values on to my son that I think are important to myself. And at that first school that I mentioned, it was a facade. There was nothing genuine about it, and they begrudgingly shared those philosophies or ideologies of the school about promoting safe spaces, when in actuality they didn't give a fucking shit about it. So I really didn't care about that at my first school, but this new school that I'm at, it's very welcoming. It's very honest. It's real. It's genuine, and I do like that. And I had my first transgender student in class on my second semester. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect from it. I don't have any experience with transgender people up until this year. And I quickly realized there was nothing different about it. There was nothing different in dealing with a transgender person. I misidentified a couple times, but the student was really understanding because they knew that I was coming from a good place when I was trying to properly address them. So it worked out to be really a good thing. And over time, I formed a great relationship. Who he identifies as a him, named Skylar. So it was a good year, and we are actually updating our gender equality policies for the upcoming year. And you had reached out looking for some of those inclusion and diversity policies about 4 or 5 months ago. I was provided them by the board, but I was also asked to not share them because they didn't want anything being released until the new school year opened up. So I do have them now, and I guess I've had them the whole time, but I've had an opportunity to leaf through it, and the amount of additional work and supports and ways of teaching belonging is pretty impressive. So there was a time there where I was considering leaving the Catholic school board if that's how it was going to be, if it was going to be a very backwards movement. but I'm glad to see that they've adopted more of a welcoming approach. So that's my blog today. I do wish that we would talk a little bit more about that, considering I think all of us at this point in time would have really experienced a lot of that in our placements. Would have been nice to talk about how we handled that or how we managed that. And maybe we talk about this a bit of Bobfest. I'm not quite sure, but it was an experience. It was an experience working with a transgender student, and I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm happy I don't have to leave the Catholic School Board. So that was blog 14. I totally went off the rails here today, but like I said, I screwed up my days there, and I'm going to upload this, and then I'm going to have a barbecue with the boys. Talk soon, Tim.